Hi, welcome back. Hi guys. Um, how are you doing? As always, I hope that you can hear us and see us properly. Let us know. Um, there is always a lot of things going on our screen during a crowdfunding
Yes.
campaign, so it's harder to go live. Um, Today we are here because we are exactly 1 week after the launch of the Household Volume 2 campaign on BackerKit, and we are here mostly to celebrate, to take a look at what happened during the last week, and to maybe see something on what's going to happen in the next week. First things first, today I'm here with my great sister,
Yes.
which I
His arm.
always like to show
I
off
don't know if many
when I
of
get the
you,
chance.
especially far from Italy, knew this, but Rico had an exact replica of some household object. One of the coolest one being the Great Scissors. Then a couple of dear friend of ours, the piece of cake. They are like they used to work with us in video, in cinema, doing props and costumes and scene. I don't know how it's called in English. Here we are, and we keep working with them when we can, and to celebrate the launch of the first household campaign, big household campaign, a couple of years back, we realized we had them. Realized Great Sisters and his cat.
Yeah,
They are very
but extremely cool. The Kiss Cat is also pretty sturdy. It's a hard, and while
yes.
the this is
Is
foam, and
informed
this is
the
yeah. So
Great
it's
Sister.
so it's a little bit more kid friendly. So
Yes.
we thought it was worthy to celebrate with this first week and this first 300,000 euro mark by bringing our weapons to the live stream. So, thank you guys. Um, what can we say more about this first week of household? It's been insane. There's a lot of it's just a lot to process. To be honest with you, we said it several times. I know some of you believe us, some of you don't believe us, but it's all the same. If this campaign would have closed at 300,000, we would have been extremely happy. This is an unbelievable result, not only for an Italian campaign, but for household. It was really unexpected for us. So we are kind of winging this campaign a little bit. We are seeing uh, where this will go, and we are trying to keep up with the stretch goals. Um, 300,000 for a single week, it's a lot, and not only it's a lot, but the campaign is going extremely well during this.
Yes.
This should be the slower part, but we are co- every
Keep
day we are
going.
out of
We
scale.
are keep running. Uh, Thanks to all of you, of course. Thank you, Chloe. Uh, and yes, we are really astonished by the sheer amount of love, of support, and of backers. Let's remember that we are well over 2,000 backers, which is an incredible result for us. Um, they keep rising. So who
Yeah,
knows when they will land at the end? So yes, it's really really another thing.
it's it,
Thank you,
yeah.
Raul. Even
Thank you.
last weekend, that usually weekends are very very slow. We managed to unlock a couple of stretch goal, more than a couple of stretch goal. So yes, we are really really impressed with the results we are seeing in this campaign.
And to celebrate the 300,000 mark, we decided to make this kind of double or triple unlock. I don't know how to define this, because the 300 mark, for the 300 mark we unlocked a new favor, which is a kind of contract, the Frogs favor. So we also unlocked a coin. Let me see here, a triangular shaped metal coin that will be used as a token for the Frog's favor. So if you receive the Frog's favor, you are going to actually receive this token from your narrator, from your GM. And also we unlocked this beautiful artwork made by Daniela, one of my favorite pieces so far. I am obsessed with king frogs in general. We have several around the house. It's something from the classic folklore that I really personally love. And to be fair, we weren't expecting. We have a pretty when we write a book, an RPG book or supplement or whatever, we usually have a very strong idea of what's going where, because we do a lot of artwork, so we have to be we have to have some kind of understanding of how much space do we have for text, how much space do we have for hearts. So we weren't expecting to have a 2-page spread for King Frog Jack, but since I anticipated it so much and you guys were so involved in all this frog stuff, Daniela decided to actually make it into full art. It took her 4 days or 4 days and a half to do this. So it's an impressive, if you ask me, it's an impressive result, even not considering the days, but considering, she only had 4 days to do this, it's unbelievable. So thank you guys for all the congratulations.
A lot in the chat. Let me see if there are some questions. Richard asks, does the amount of interest in your work inspire you to work on your next project, or will you continue expanding the household? As you know, we work on several things in the meantime. What does this mean? Household is our first child. We love household more than anything in the world, more than any other game we have for a lot of personal interest. What will happen after the campaign is that we will work a lot on delivering Household Volume 2, because like we said, every single time, Household is a lot of work for every single member of Two Little Mice, collaborator of Two Little Mice, a lot of text, a lot of graphic layout, design, and art, and research and production, a lot of stuff, a lot of things. So yes, we will be very, very much at work on Household, but we have several other projects we would like to work on in the near and far future. So let's see. Of course, all the support you have inspire us to simply keep on the good work, meaning keep on working like the crazy we are, like the mad we are, and working a lot of everything we are doing, hoping to always keep the level of what we are doing at the highest possible.
It's also should be noted that we all have, as an artist, you have to find ways to be productive, because we all tend to be it's hard to for many, especially for me and Daniela, it's hard to focus on something. It's hard to actually deliver in time everything all the time. And so the way that we found to be more productive is to basically work on 4 usually different projects at the same time, 4 different projects at different stages. So right now, as we are handling the Household campaign, I am not writing Household. I'm writing for the next things that we are going to do, because this helps me being focused, because when I don't feel like being on Household, I can write something else, and when I don't feel like writing, I can go back to Household, and this is easier for us. to handle. So to answer the question, we are working on household and on something else, as Simone was saying.
Yes.
Uh,
Innanzitutto, grazie anche a tutti gli italiani che sono qui, che ci seguono, che ci scrivono in italiano. Prediligiamo la lingua inglese in queste live che facciamo sulla pagina, ma leggiamo. Se ci sono domande rispondiamo, cerchiamo di rispondere anche entrambe le lingue, quindi non vi preoccupate. Grazie del supporto, davvero.
yeah, ADHD for you. But yeah,
Yes, Jade was confirmed that King Frog Jack is one of the few creatures that can speak, that are sentient creatures that can speak. There are very few of them, and for a serious reason that now we will try to explain in English, but easier in Italian yesterday to explain these things. But wow, I was attacked by a cat. Sorry. Yes, we will talk about it in a minute.
can how can the frog speak? It's everything in household, everything that we cannot understand boils down to the contract of domain. The contract of domain is the contract.
Cornerstone, really,
Yeah.
of a lot of things happening in the house, and the explanation for the most crazy, mystical, not I don't know how to say, not realistic things happening in the household. And it's also the why some really important creature are sentient and able to speak like any other littlings you can encounter.
It's let's say it like this. In household, everything revolves around contractual power. The more important you are, the bigger you are, the more power you have, the stronger you are. One good example of contractual power is William Arthur's spine cloak. So Brave Spine has a cloak made with the skin of his former mount, which was a hedgehog. Now Brave Spine has this kind of cloak, and this cloak gives him power. It's kind of a magical item because this is the cloak that he made using the skin of his pet friend that was killed during the war. So it kind of has some contractual power because they were so tied and they were so important, and you know, Brave Spine is the first boggart, the guardian of the heart, etc. So all these things gain importance. It's kind of like when you think about Lord of the Ring, is Aragorn's sword, is Anduril more? Is it more important because it's Anduril or because it's Aragorn's sword? We can argue about that, but like having a history, having an importance in the house will give you contractual power and will make you something more than you should be. So, in this sense, the creature that are so big and that lives in the garden, and there are some kind of owner of the garden, because, for example, King Frog Jack is a king of the fountain, so he rules over the fountain, which is a big part of the garden. But other creatures, for example, they have a hunting ground big enough in the garden, so they gain contractual power because let's say there is a giant animal that will hunt in a certain piece of the garden, and to cross that kind of piece of the garden, you have to hope that they don't kill you, that they don't eat you, that they let you go. So that's why they are considered ruler. This gives them power. And so they begin to develop some kind of skills, including intelligence and the ability to speak. So yeah, that's a little bit the explanation of. So for example, King Frog Jack wasn't able to speak until the Battle of Quillwater, when he helped the household army, he helped the Arcadia Oberonovna. He was awarded the title of king, and then little by little he developed this kind of intelligence, and then the ability to actually speak and function as a littling. Um, can the creature inside the house be sentient like Jack, or just a colossal beast? Yes, they most certainly can. We have seen that some creature in the house are somewhat a little more than normal creature. Like for example, we know that Xerxes, the Sunset Devil, which is a giant
Hunter
huntsman
spider?
huntsman
Hunt-
spider,
hunt-
um, he will get the ability to actually kind of telepathically talk to you if you try to kill him, and you defeat him, and he
Oh,
will
but
offer you a
you
contract. But that's only because he's sharing the power of the furnace of the false fire. Can there be creature like Xerxes who are actually powerful enough, are not only a spokesperson, are not only messengers of a force, but are actually a force of the house? Yes, it can be.
imagine the white dragon talk like smoke.
Does the white dragon
It's
spoke? We don't know if the white dragon actually spoke or not. There is no data, so you can decide for yourself. Um, there will be just a handful of talking creature inside Household Volume 2. Really, I believe possibly 3 of them, 4 of them. I don't know. It's very limited amount of talking creature, but this will certainly change, the household lore forever, because now this is something that you can create in your own campaigns, that you can add to your own campaigns. Um, yeah, so I hope that the campaign is going strong. We still have a little bit of time. We have like 2 weeks left to go, something like that. So hopefully we have time maybe to reveal another of this creature. I have to say 2 of them are my favorite. One was Jack. One is um, um, I don't know if I can say the name at least, because I don't think that the name will
just the
spoil it.
name,
Just
and
the
not
name,
the.
not
Okay.
the species. Uh, it's I have 2 creature which I absolutely adore in household. One was King Frog Jack, and the other one is Lancaster. And Lancaster is a whole other kind of creature, and we'll see if Daniela manages to paint it fast enough. We may do another stretch goal around the figure of Lancaster, so that we can reveal the heart, make another stretch goal around it, and hopefully talk a little bit about it as well. So we'll see. We'll see. Then again, after the frog, what we unlocked? I can't remember. We
The
unlocked
alchemy
so much stuff.
module.
The
Right.
alchemy. Sorry, we
Yeah.
unlocked the alchemy module at 310, and this is something extremely cool. And we also managed to extend this stretch goal beyond the limit of the campaign. I believe this is an absolute first in the history of crowdfunding campaign to actually unlock
Resonate.
stretch goals for other campaign. But Simone, I let you do the honor of presenting the alchemy module and everything that we are doing and they are doing.
Basically, what we unlocked was an alchemy module, an official alchemy module for Household Volume 2, and of course the Saga of the Long Winter as well, since, as you know, Alchemy is already working on the module for the Volume 1, the Saga of the Fragile Peace, and a practical guide to living inside the house. Thanks to they are working really hard on it, like we already said last week. But the cool thing is that thanks to this stretch goal, we will share free codes with a bunch of our household backers. Meaning, whatever you choose during this campaign, if you have a version of a book in this campaign, both physical or digital, you will receive also the Alchemy module for it. So if you have the volume 2, if you have volume 1 and 2, volume 1 and 2, if you have everything, you will receive everything. But that's not over. If you were one of the backers of the first household campaign back 2 years ago, you will get the same, meaning, in that case, I think every backers got the first 3 books in PDF, so it should be fairly easy. You will receive volume 1, the saga, and the guide as an alchemy module. And even if you were a backer on the Adventures in the Household Kickstarter campaign and you choose whatever household rewards as an add-on or as a pledge, same old, meaning you will receive the relevant books you choose. And just to avoid keeping any backers out of this wonderful stretch goal, even if you choose a household as an add-on in the outgun campaign, you will get the same if you choose but it was just the all-in, I think.
In the Outgunned Adventure campaign.
The Outgun Adventure campaign, it was the all-in as an add-on. In that case, you will get the relevant alchemy module for it. Please, I want to be very clear about it. This is very huge because just, we like to be 100% transparent with you. The alchemy got any money from us to do all the works they are doing, meaning they will hope.
Sorry, you froze for a second.
Oh my, I'm seeing me. Well,
yeah, you were frozen for a second.
Okay, sorry. Meaning the alchemy guys are working a lot on it, meaning they will, get back some money from all their hard work just from the copies they will actually sell in the near future after the modules are released. So it's a very good thing they are doing for us and for all of you to be able to share this huge number of free codes to all our backers.
Just to say that this will not always be, I want to, one fear that we have always when it comes to do something, to go the extra mile like this, we are always happy to try, and in this case, thanks to Alchemy mostly, we were able to do the extra mile. But this still is an extra mile, so we will not be able to do this for every campaign to retroactively award all the.
This was an exception, even because I will just tell you when we did the first campaign of House of Alchemy wasn't even out there yet. So we were before Alchemy. So in this case, we managed to level up, and then starting from now, we will be focusing straightly on what the campaign is about.
And to answer the question, not Bismillah, it's not considered a sentient being. You have not met yet another sentient animal in household. Some sentient animals might have been called by name in some of the passages, but you haven't actually met them. So this will be something new. King Frog Check will be I believe the only accessible living talking animal inside Household 1 and 2. There are going to be others in Household 1 and 2.
More accessible, probably.
Definitely.
You would like to go as far away from him as possible.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But it's going to be a lot
harder. He has a palace, a beautiful palace on the far side of the fountain. So if you want to speak with him, you know where to find him.
And as you can see, there was some question about all these fairies around him, why they are washing him. Two things to notice in this picture. One thing is that he lives inside, and that's because Fenris lives in castle, so he decided to build his own castle. This stuff that you're seeing, this is Frogstone Keep, and Frogstone is on the far side of the fountain, on the border of the fountain. So he lives in a palace. So this is all a fake pond inside, because he still wants to be near water, but he wants to show people that he lives inside because he's a superior animal. He doesn't live in nature like the other frogs, but they still have to keep, moistening him, washing him, because he needs to be in the water, he needs to be in the wild somehow. And also he likes to be surrounded by this court of beautiful young fairies, because that's what he thinks fairies do in their castle. He never been to
what
Australia.
a king should do.
Yeah.
In
That's
his
his
eyes, as
idea
you can see.
of how we can appear just like the other fairy noble, so that's a frog's idea of an inside court
Of royalty.
of royalty. Yes. Yeah.
Do sentient creatures have the ability to physically speak, or is
Yeah.
it some kind of supernatural things? They speak.
They
It's
speak.
not like the avatar you met inside, which can communicate with you more or less psychic, mentally. Somehow, no, they can. They are full sentient being, like any litlings. They can speak as well as any other litling.
He will speak.
I don't know which kind of voice King
Yeah.
Frog Jack has. I don't know if it's pleasant or not. Probably not. I don't know. But yes, he can physically speak.
He will have a froggy voice.
Yes, whatever that means.
Yeah. Simone will give us an example of a froggy voice.
Oh, I really, I don't know how to have this frog voice.
Yes.
I prefer not.
Okay, I'll take it. Yes. So we have our own inside impression of how King Frog Jack and Lancaster as well speak, but we were not going to perform it in public. So yeah. And also this King Frog Jack give us the perfect cue to talk a little bit about the household, the current household history, and especially to talk about the fairies and how the fairies live outside of the house. And this is something that I believe would be interested to address in different live stream, like how the old folks from inside the house live or may live outside of the house. Let's start by saying that after the end of the First Household War, there's been the Astravia Treaty, and the outside, the household, the garden was considered to be part of the household empire. So technically, the High Council and Arcadia Beronovna rule over the garden as well. Now, the fairies have their base in Frogstone Keep. So in Frogstone, which is the city on the far side of the fountain, and technically Jack is the king of the fountain and also the ruler of the fountain. So technically, this frog next to us is the most important representative of the fairies outside of the house. Still, outside of the house, there are some legion of fairies that are fighting against different creatures. They are trying to build settlement. We know from Household Volume 1 that the most important legion outside of the house is the 10th Legion of the Great Imperial Army, that was under the command of the Crystal General Valentin Dulamp. Now, Valentin Dulamp is also a golden back, so one of the elite of the Fey army, and she was one of the most prominent figures outside of the house. Now, for Household Volume 2, there is kind of a political, this is the political side of Household. We have Household is half politics, half talking frogs, I know. There is a problem with using the Great Imperial Army outside of the house because this goes against the Treaty of Ostravia, and that's all. There's a whole lot of problem around it. But to make it short, the Tsarina Arkadia Oberonovna decided to appoint Valentin Dulamp Grand Captain of the Golden Back, and so Valentin Dulamp now has under her command 3 different legions of fairies. And among these legions of fairies, there is also the fairies that are part of the royal guard of King Frog Jack. So this is a perfect hook for your characters if you are a fey soldier, a fairy soldier, a fey duelist, animal handler, scholar from inside the house. One of the reasons you might want to go outside is because you are assigned to one of these 3 legion of the fairies that are now following Valentin Dulamp to fight against the Fae and to protect the King Frog Jack. Sorry for the political, parenthesis.
It's vital part of the game.
Dimitri, well, possibly. I can confirm, Chloe, that Yulia, if you play the Saga of the Fragile Peace, Yulia Dragomirov from the Great Imperial Army will be assigned to the 7th Legion, I don't remember, to the Legion Rigel Phoenix. So she will be part of the fairies that goes outside. So we will meet duelist Yulia Dragomirov outside of the house under the command of her role model, her childhood hero, Valentin Dulamp. Can the King Frog only give one favor at a time? Technically no, practically yes. It's an extremely rare thing to be rewarded with a favor. So one for one littling, or maybe one for the whole group, but yes, it's one favor. It's because a favor requires...
It's a huge thing, even for the creature who gives the favor a favor.
Yeah.
You cannot force a sentient creature to give you, or a colossal creature to give you a favor. It means you really did something that saved their life, that helped them in a really huge, impactful way, and so they don't know how to pay you back right now, and so they give you a favor, but which it means that in any given moment, wherever you are, no matter what's going on in the world outside, you can call up on them and they have to reach you to help you. So it's a huge commitment for King Frog Jack as well.
And also they will, if you call up to their favor, they will have to physically reach you, of course. It's not like a magical thing that they will appear next to you, but still, being a colossal creature, they're much faster than you. But I cannot wait for the moment that you use your favor against some wild beast and a giant frog come jumping from the fountain to help you out. In slow motion to help you out. If I missed some of the question, please ask again. Yeah, so that's I think that's wrap up for the fairies. There will be different settlement outside of the house. The most important one will be Frogstone on the fountain, and also there is the shared settlement of White Step between the Boggart army and the Fey army, the Fairy army. But outside you will not only find, of course, your household fairies that are mostly out because of the old army stuff, but you will also find, of course, the new fae, which we call the wild fairies. So basically the original fairies who remained outside after the fall of the Dendronaos tree. And the fae, I believe we never talk about where the fae actually live, because it's not on the map. But they live in a hidden fortress city, which is called Kair City. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Kair City.
I think so.
It's always Celtic stuff. It's really hard for me to pronounce. And Kair City, it's a fortress city that it's almost impossible to find. That's no one saw it during all these years, and still today the Great Imperial Army is trying to look for it, to find the entrance to the city of Kair City. But you'll have to wait volume 2 to find out where it is.
Why? And why?
Will
It's
he
so
turn into
hard
a
to
lovely
find.
prince? He's already a lovely king.
It's already a lovely king, please.
So it's more.
Why step down?
And speaking of what's coming next, since we are approaching the end of this live stream, speaking of what's coming next, we are just some €1,000 away from our next stretch goal, which is yes, like a little more than 3,000 euros away, which will be the next colossal beast added to Household Volume 2, and the next colossal beast will be something different, because it will be a giant mantis, and the real kind of mantis, who is actually called the giant devil's flower mantis. And the giant devil's flower mantis will be one of the most annoying giant enemies you can find, because it's
evil. It's the most cunning, evil, and all the bad things you can think about a giant mantis. You can. It's really slick and vicious predator that will try everything to cut you off guard and to, kiss you and hit you probably. I don't know, but whatever. It's very mean.
So yeah, fancy stick back. You'll see.
More or less.
It's
a little more deadly.
One of the good things about facing colossal beasts is that at least they are colossal. They are very huge. You can see them from miles. That's the only good part, that you can try to avoid them. But when it comes to the giant devil's flower mantis, the Idolomantis diabolica, I believe it's the real name.
I think so.
The Idolomantis diabolica can actually pretend to be a beautiful flower. So most of the time, once you understand she's there, you are already dead. And that's the trickiest part. But the cool thing about the Devil's Flower Mantis is that we will use one of the new contracts that we unlock, because there's already 4 personal contract in House of Volume 2. We unlocked 4 more, and we don't know what they're going to be. We only know 1. We are making the other up as we go on with the campaign. One of these contract we will shape on the Devil Flower Mantis. So if you manage to defeat the Devil's Flower Mantis, you will be able to choose between sparing the mantis and receiving this contract, as would happen with many creatures of the house, or you can maybe ask for her favor, the favor of a specific Idolomantis diabolica, And also, if you don't want to spare the mantis, you can actually kill the mantis if you manage to. It's going to be hard, let's face it.
Yes.
And you will be able to make a very special weapon using the sight.
Sights, yes, I think.
I don't know how it's the
The thingy slash thing. Yes. Instead of the hand, the sight,
yeah,
I
the
think.
site, let's call it site, the site of the mantis. So there's something for everyone. You either kill it or make it a friend or spare a life, whatever you want. Yeah, so we'll see. And the last things that I wanted to share is that these specific animals, the devil's flower mantis, will belong to the backyard. So it will be Japanese themed along with the Shinigami. So I anticipate it's going to be extremely cool to have it in a quest in your adventure. After that, we are going to reveal actually two more stretch goals. One for 330 and one for 350, which is going to be an achievement. So we are going to keep secret the 340, and both of these stretch goals will be physical upgrades to the books, but you're going to find out later this evening or tomorrow morning. I don't know, depending when we unlock them and when you are in the world.
With a moment for an answer to some Italian. Backers per Andrea, posso confermare assolutamente che Alchemy, visto il quantitativo importante di titolo italiano che ha, sta lavorando ad una localizzazione italiana, e tutti i nostri titoli saranno disponibili sia in inglese che in italiano. Non hanno assolutamente da delle tempistiche. Ma ci stanno già cominciando a lavorare. Credo che da qualche parte l'anno prossimo cominceranno a lanciare i primi contenuti anche in altre lingue, tra cui l'italiano. Quindi sì, posso confermare che sia House che Outgunned, che Memento, ma tutti quelli che abbiamo sbloccato, non appena sarà disponibile l'implementazione sul sito Alchemy, saranno disponibili anche in italiano. Mi taccio.
Chloe is asking if all the other colossal beasts will be like the mantis. Well, every colossal beast will probably have the opportunity to grant you a contract, or at least some some specimen of that kind of colossal beast. Like, not all the giant centipede can give you the gold thirst contract, but Bismillah can. So maybe not all the owls, but a certain owl will be able to give you a specific contract. Then probably all the owls, depending on your story, will be able to give you a favor, because the favor is a broader concept. You can use it however you like in your own quests or campaign. And some of the colossal beasts will also be able to be looted to create some specific pieces of equipment, like I believe it was for probably Mammon in Household Volume 1 to make the golden vest for the duelist. I don't remember if it made it into the final version, or it was just only in the first edition, honestly. But yes, not all the colossal beasts will be available to loot them to make some specific gear as the Idolomantis Diabolica. KFJ has a cape, yes, and it's a blue cape, which is his favorite color.
He's a king, he's a crown, he has a crown and a cape. I mean, it's obvious.
Can Colossal Beast give the usual force contract? Yes, most of them can. What else? I believe that's everything for today. Sorry guys, but there are really a lot of stuff that we unlocked and
Yes.
a lot of live streams, and we already had this live stream in Italy.
In the
and
meantime,
yesterday.
two things before saying goodbye. We reached the 317,000 euros just now, so we are a little less than 3,000 euros from our next stretch goal. Thank you, everybody, as always. And I shall remember you that currently a poll in the campaign page, in which you can vote for your favorite folk among all the inside, outside folk. Please see and vote, and we will crown a winner in a few days.
And then we'll probably have another
Right
one.
now, who's winning? Let me check.
I believe the fair, the outside fairies.
I think so. Can I see the exact number of votes? No, it's impossible. It's in Fair and Bogarts should be head to head for the pole position.
It's cool to see the different in the different the world regions, because we are having the same poll on the
In
Italian group on Facebook. Sorry. And basically we have half of the vote for the Bogarts and half of the votes for the Slua, and no one else is getting any vote. So it's basically all Bogarts and Slua in Italy. Yeah, Slua are the best after all. I agree with the chat. Guys, thank you very much for this first campaign. It's really I don't know you, but it seems to me like we've been live with this project since a month now. It's only the first week. We have 2 more weeks ahead of us. Before we leave, let me just say that we will have many other live streams this week and the next. But first of all, be prepared, because today it's possibly the slowest day, and the next week, the next 8 days are going to be significantly slower. Up until now, the campaign has, I don't know how it holds this good for the first time. This is out of any, I cannot possibly convey if you don't do crowdfunding campaign for a living, how incredible this campaign, how like not good, like really incredible. The how steady the pace for this campaign has been. And thank you for that. It's going to be a little slower. We'll still try to be here and discuss all the stuff with you, but still we should expect to slow down a little bit. Also, I want to anticipate that on the 5th of December, before leaving for PAX Unplugged, we are going to have a special reveal regarding Outgun, so please stay tuned on the 5th. We might even do a last minute live stream. This is not regarding Household, this is regarding Outgun. We have a cool new to share, because you will be able to possibly see something of it at PAX Unplugged, so we want to reveal it the day before leaving. And on the 7th and on the 8th of December, we will be in Philadelphia for PAX Unplugged, together with Household and Outgun and Memento Mori. So if you are near Philadelphia, please come and say hi.
Yes. I mean, I think it's time to thank you very much again, guys. I think it's time for us to go. It's been 1 hour. It's flying.
Yeah. What's your vote? Simone, they're asking what's your vote? Your favorite folk?
Mine?
Yeah.
It's the gnomes, of course.
Gnomes. That's makes sense. For me, it's of course the Zlua, but you know.
I cannot even vote.
No,
in our own pool, because we are not backers, just the backers. Not even creator of the project can vote in the pool on BackerKit. So we cannot vote.
Yeah. But in our heart, we have voted for Zlua and Gnomes. the Shinigami Raul. Thank you guys, and really stay tuned for the big announcement on the 5th. We cannot anticipate anything, but it will be
Yes.
worth it. Stay tuned because we might do, I don't know yet, we might do a last minute live stream, one of those things that you go live without even announcing it. So mark the date on the calendar. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you again for supporting us and Household. This has been amazing, and we'll try to make the rest of the campaign special. And we'll see you on BackerKit for the next update soon enough.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Have a nice day. Bye.